Hello everyone and welcome back to JPTV. Today is an awesome day because I'm going to give you guys an update on the Adnan Syed case. As you can see, this is the final finished look of my makeup. I'm going to be doing my makeup while I tell you guys what is going on. Been waiting for this video and I hope that you guys are all excited. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning everybody, welcome back. Happy Saturday. I can't believe that I'm actually filming this video right now. This has been long awaited. If you have watched my first 3 episodes regarding the case of Adnan Syed, you are probably going to be excited about this video as well. I'm sure that's why you're here. If you have not watched the first 3 episodes, I would encourage you to do so, especially if you didn't watch the Serial podcast that came out in 2014. You probably know absolutely nothing about this particular case. And so the podcast is very intriguing. It definitely was something that I was obsessed with listening to when it came out. Like I literally would lay in bed with my ear pods at night and fall asleep listening to it, because I was just so blown away by this case, mostly because based on what I was hearing and the evidence that was brought to the table, I don't feel that Adnan was guilty, and he has now spent over 20 years in prison. He was convicted of killing his girlfriend, Heyman Lee, in the year 2000, but the killing was in 1999. And he was 17 years old at the time, and he is now 40. And so, so we're going to kind of jump in. I actually already did my brows and primed my eyes, so that way we can kind of just jump in and get going. So let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, I do want to say happy Easter. Easter is tomorrow. And if any of you follow me on my keto channel, I talked about how I'm doing a triathlon in a couple weeks on May 1st. And so that is coming up. So what I did this morning is I went and did like a trial run on the bike ride. It's 11 miles and it's in Loma Linda, California, and the hills are steep. So basically what you have to do is you have to do a 3 loop. So each loop is about 3.5 miles and you have to do it 3 times. You've got to go up this huge hill 3 times. So it was, needless to say, hard. But I feel good. Like I'm excited about the race. Honestly, the hardest part for me in a triathlon is running. I hate running with a passion. I love to cycle and I love to swim, but I hate running. And so I have to run 3 miles, which I'm not excited about, but it is what it is. So I did that this morning, so that was really good. And now I'm getting ready kind of for my day. So I'm going to head out and run a bunch of errands to get ready for Easter tomorrow. And then next weekend, my sister and I, our mom turned 70 back in February. And so we have been wanting to just spoil her and have like a girls' weekend out. You know, our mom, you know, is such a serving lady. She actually took care of my grandma, and because my grandma lived with them in like her last, you know, years of her life. And, you know, my mom took care of her, and then now my dad has fallen ill. So she takes care of him. So she just really like needs to get out. So we're excited. We're going to take her. My sister has an RV. So she rented a space at the beach in Newport. So very excited for that. So that's next weekend. And then the weekend after that, that's when I have the race. So that is exactly why we went to practice today. All right, so this update is going to be actually super quick. So that's why I'm talking about other stuff, so that we're not super bored while I do my makeup. All right, so here we go. Basically, what is happening is, so I'm going to backtrack, and I don't know how. I'm just finding out about this, like how I missed this in the news. Obviously, maybe because Serial was so long ago that it's not a big, it wasn't on the news here in California. And he's in prison in Maryland. That's where the murder took place. But basically on March 15th of this year, the prosecutor, so the district attorney, along with Adnan's attorney, petitioned the court to allow for more DNA testing. So, Adnan has been claiming that he's innocent, since this all began, okay? And when they did the podcast, the documentary on HBO in 2019, the documentary, the people that were involved in that, because the New York Times bought the podcast serial, so they actually bought rights to it. And so they requested, DNA testing during the HBO documentary. And I don't know if you guys remember, if you watched it, but I did mention it in one of my videos that none of the DNA testing they did for the documentary, and it wasn't done by authorities. So, it's not considered, something that can be used in the courts. But nothing came back with Adnan's DNA on it, not a one. And they really don't go into detail on what exactly they tested. It was just items found, on Hayes' body and in her car. So I don't know the logistics of exactly what they tested. I just know that none of it matched Adnan. So the prosecutor and Adnan's defense attorney, petitioned to allow new DNA evidence. And how this happened, okay, this is just, well, I'm not going to say a fluke, because I believe everything happens for a reason. And if he's truly innocent, which I don't know, okay, I'm not saying that, so don't come for me. It's just my opinion, okay, what I believe. But basically what happened is in 2021, so last year, a law passed in the state of Maryland that anyone who was convicted in the state of Maryland as a, not as an adult, but as a juvenile, is able to request to be released after 20 years in prison. Like, this law just passed, okay? So because it passed, obviously Adnan was all over that. He's like, oh yeah, no. Like, I've been in prison like 21 years, or I don't think he went in until like 2001. So he's been there like 21 years. But he kept pushing for it, because he's been claiming his innocence forever. And finally, the prosecutors decided that it was what's best. Like, finally, everybody, the judges, because they went to a judge and the judge ordered the new DNA testing to be done. And it was because of a couple things. So first thing I want to say is Adnan actually was, his case was finally taken up by the Innocence Project, which I was kind of surprised that it hadn't yet. To me, that was quite shocking. I would have thought that, they would have wanted to take it on, but they had not as of yet. But they did just within the last couple years. And so his attorney works for the Innocence Project. And so they really pushed, obviously, with this new law for the new DNA testing. And the district attorney agreed, like, you know what? There was, and obviously there's a lot more that we have in DNA testing now, because things are so much further along than they were 21 years ago. And so, so they actually ordered it. Now, basically what's going to happen next is the order that the judge gave said that they had to submit for DNA testing within 15 days of the request. So it was requested on March 15th. So that means the lab already has it. And they sent it to a lab in Hayward, California, which I found was quite interesting. It must be, a high-tech DNA lab, because, that's Maryland, and they sent it all the way to California. So they sent it to California probably the beginning of April. We're now, I think today's April 16th. So here's what's going to happen. So if they run well, not if they're going to run the new DNA evidence. And if Adnan's DNA does not show up on anything, I feel emotional just saying it, he's going to be released for time served. And it just, I just can't even believe it. Like I feel like I know this guy and his family. Like I've never, and I've heard stories about people going to prison and possibly being innocent, but never heard a case like this. Like it was so mind-blowing to me, when listening to it on the podcast. I just felt like I couldn't even believe that jurors could convict on the evidence that they had. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. So, recap, because of this new law that was passed in the state of Maryland, he was 17 when he was convicted. He's already spent 20 years. Now his case it's not technically being reopened. It's just, basically what the law states, it sounds like, is not that you can reopen your case, that you can get a lesser sentence. Okay. So he might not get out right away. They may say, okay, the DNA tests, none of it matches Adnan, but we're going to, cut his sentence down from 30 years to 25. And then he spends another 5 years or 4 years and then he gets out. So really it's all going to depend on, I don't know. I'm thinking obviously this district attorney and his attorney will have to come to an agreement. But I'm hoping, or I don't know if it's going to go to a judge. It's really unclear as I did research on it, like what the process is going to look like. They're being very, I'm not going to say like, I don't know what word I'm trying to say, not quiet about it, but they're not giving like a whole lot of details except for that, what I've shared with you guys so far. So they're not saying like, okay, what is that exactly going to look like when he, when the tests come back, if they come back negative, like with none of his DNA on it. It just says that with this new law, they can require. But here's the thing. With that law has nothing to do with DNA testing. That law just says you can fight to get a lesser sentence if, as a juvenile, you've been in prison for at least 20 years. So that's why it's sounding to me like if this new DNA testing comes back and it shows that none of Adnan's DNA is on it, that he's going to be exonerated. He's going to be let out. That's what I'm getting from it. So exciting stuff. If you watched Serial, I know I have some followers here on my channel that did actually watched it with me. Melissa, I know you're probably excited hearing this because I know you felt, as much as just like I felt about the whole case. And it's been just so long. Like, it's crazy. Even when we listen to it, like thinking it's been since 2014 that we were following the case. Like, I feel like, wow, where does time go? And, to us, the time flew, but to him being in prison, like, I don't know, you guys, like, I couldn't even imagine. It's crazy. So yep, that is the update. So I will continue to, obviously keep an eye on it and see, every day or so, just kind of like go online. And I checked this morning, so there's no new updates. I don't know how long DNA testing takes, to be honest with you. I mean, it could be weeks for all I know. I don't know. But, I was watching someone else's recap on it, and they were saying, and it makes a whole lot of sense, like someone who was truly guilty would not be so adamant and insistent about getting additional DNA testing, wanting to be exonerated. Like, and I thought, that's so true. Like, if he truly was guilty, he wouldn't want them to test his DNA again. He would be afraid, right? Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think that makes a lot of sense. And so I feel like just that alone to me speaks of his likely innocence. So I don't know. It should be interesting. I think the fact that nothing matched Adnan when they did the HBO case is, I think that's telling. So it just couldn't be, it couldn't be used to exonerate him because it was not ordered by a judge or done, you know, in that capacity. So they couldn't use it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now you guys see why I tried to just talk about other stuff in the beginning. So I actually had this look the other day in my video. So I said I was gonna do it today so you can kind of see how I do it. I will put everything in the description box that I use, but I just mixed. I have a Color Pop and an Essence like green eyeshadow palette, and that's what I used. I love green. It's like my favorite color. Love, love, love it so much. So if I could wear green eyeshadow every day, I would. The problem with green eyeshadow, as you guys can see, just so you know, I did a halo eye. So it's like dark colors on each edge and then a light color in the middle. But, you know, it can even come off slightly patchy. So like I'm actually going to blend it out. That's the only thing about greens is that you have to be super careful. And that's why I did my eyeshadow first, because otherwise it probably I would have had a whole bunch of fallout all over my face. So, where's my powder? Oh, here it is. I was gonna say, did my daughter take my powder? I got it. So yeah, that's it, guys. So in my next video, just so you guys know, so let me kind of give you an update where I'm at. So obviously my Wednesdays, you know, are more tutorials. So next Wednesday, I'll post something. If you have a request on something that you want to see, go ahead and give me a little message in there. But next Saturday, I will not be doing a video because remember, we're taking our mom for the weekend. So I will not be uploading. I mean, I could technically film during the week. You know what? I might surprise you guys. We'll see. I'm going to say no right now, but if I am in the mood during the week to go ahead and film it, I will. But basically, my next Saturday film, and I know I talked about this, that I was going to do it in my last one, but then I found out about this update. So I was like, oh no, I have to talk about this update because I know people are waiting to hear. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do a reaction to Colby and Sam at the Queen Mary. So if you live in California, you'll be able to appreciate it because you've probably been to the Queen Mary before. Even if you do live here and you've never been there, it is pretty cool. I've only been on the Queen Mary a couple times. I went for a dance. I think I mentioned it in one of my other videos like years ago. So my husband and I are talking about actually going to stay at it just to kind of check it out ourselves. So we might do that. But I don't know for sure. And so yeah, that's what I'll do in my next video, and that will be in 2 weeks. So that would be like, it's either April 30th or 31st. I don't know how many days there are in April. I think it's 30th. Because then May 1st is that Sunday I'm doing the triathlon. So, and I was thinking I'm going somewhere, and I was telling my husband I should vlog it. Oh, on May 2nd, the day after my husband's birthday and the day after the triathlon, me and my husband, I'm taking him to Disneyland for his birthday, and then my daughter and her husband are coming with us, and then our granddaughter. And so I was thinking I would vlog it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a tutorial with the new Disney Cinderella Princess palette from Sigma. So I'm going to do my makeup that morning, you know, kind of show you guys, you know, the palette and do a review on it. And then I'm going to vlog our day at Disneyland. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So just a little snippet of some of the stuff I'm going to be doing for you guys coming up here. And yeah, I'm just going to wrap up and do mascara on my bottom lash line, put on some highlighter. And I'm not even doing anything today. I'm like running errands. So putting on makeup. Uh-oh, I just got mascara in my hair. I don't even really need to put on makeup, but obviously I'm doing it for this video. So yeah, we're just gonna tootle around, run some errands, and that'll be it. All right, oh, highlighter. So my Flower Beuty highlighter. It's actually my favorite, and I have some high-end highlighters, and this one, I mean, look at this. This was like $9, I think, at Ulta. So pretty. And there's like 3 different colors in there. I like to mix them. And then what I'll do is I'll use it to put highlight on my brow bone. And I guess I could show you my lipstick. I'm probably just gonna do like a pinky nude. So I got this at the swap meet. I don't even know what brand it is, sorry. And stay with the theme of cool tones today. And then I have a just a nude. It's NYX. It's a matte lipstick. It's called Dainty Days. Just a pinky nude. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for coming, for watching. I hope you were just as excited to hear the news as I was. Again, as soon as I hear something, I will post a video. Like, I will probably won't even do a tutorial. I'll just jump on, let you guys know what's going on. And hopefully, before we know it, we're going to be, well, this is me. You may think he's guilty, but I'm hoping that the next time I hear about this, we're going to see it on the news, him walking out of prison, a free man. You know, I feel so invested in it that, I don't know, I feel like I'm his family. So it's just going to be just a very surreal moment, you know. So, but again, if you are new here to my channel, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell. And I do have to say, I was looking at my analytics and it seems that 90% of people that are watching my videos are not subscribed to my channel. Why not? It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe. You don't have to watch my videos. You don't have to watch them all. But I'd love to have you a part of my YouTube family. So thank you so much for coming, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.